welcome back to the channel, guys. It is Middle Class Problems. We are back with another Midcast episode. This is episode 3, and I'm going to be with Akash, Sharon, and Aveshan, and we're going to be doing more AI questions. Take it away, Akash. Let's go. Let's see what you got.
Honestly, just looking at these questions, I don't even know how we can answer most of them.
Just go.
If it's anything like the last time.
We'll see where it takes us.
I think we can start on one that makes a bit more sense. Favorite movie moments that resonate with you?
Favorite movie moments.
Resonate with you.
So that's just so anything, cause
Yeah, I think it's not genre specific.
Sure.
It's just
I'm going to start off with Toy Story.
okay.
Which one? The first one?
Yeah, where basically where Woody tells Buzz like, you're not real, you're just a toy, man. That one was deep, man. Yes, I remember that one. That was
Okay.
one of my favorite. It's like it always resonated with me.
Which part resonates with you though? That's
just
the part
just Buzz having to face reality. He's just a toy. He's not real. He thought it was like he was the real Buzz Lightyear, and it's like he was doing a pretty good job with his Infinity and Beyond, but then and then when he actually like finds out he's a toy, like in that, I think it's that scene. I don't remember quite clearly, but that scene where he kind of like tries to fly and he can't fly. That's a memorable one for me.
Okay.
Toy Story is up there.
I don't even remember that moment. But like, I think for me, just like off the top of it, I think Boromir's death scene in Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because like, it's one of those things where this is not going to be as funny as Lentos, but it's like it's both. It's like because Lord of the Rings portrays a lot of idealistic views and things about the world. Like everyone's always good, and there's very clear lines between good and bad. And Boromir is one of the few characters who's very human, and like he gives into temptation, and he's very emotionally fueled and all that stuff. So his death scene where he's looking for redemption, and it's like there's actually this line which they say is like why it was written a specific way, because Aragorn doesn't tell him you've regained your honor. He says you've kept it, which means you never lost it in the first place. So it was like that sense of him not actually being a bad person because he was so afraid that he had changed so much just based on his temptation that he lost his sense of self. So it was one of those things that actually stays with you because like he picks up the greaves and he puts it on his hand because he's like it's multifaceted basically.
Did you feel that way about his death the first time you watched the movie?
I mean, the first time I watched it I was like 9 years old, so
Yeah, and I was small. I'm like, screw that guy. He tried to take the ring. He's dead now. Yeah. And the second time
when I was
why is this
9,
hurting me?
the most memorable moment.
Why is this making me feel things?
Yeah, now it's like I think it's one of those movies where I can go back and it means something different every time. But at 9 years old, all I remember is, when Aragorn like beheads the guy. I was like, damn, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Moving on. But anyway, I think I've spoken enough about Lord of the Rings.
I wouldn't say resonates, no, but in terms of an emotional scene, like the first one that came to mind. Have you guys watched La La Land?
No.
I haven't.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. It's about these two like up and coming or aspiring musicians, or well, not musicians, just people in their creative field. One guy is a musician, the guy, and the woman is an aspiring actress.
Okay. It's a musical.
Yeah. And the movie's about them trying to reach their goals and stuff, become what they want, but together, if they do that together, they'll be holding each other back because they have other commitments. So the end scene is they both finally reach the place they want to be, and she goes to a jazz club, like with her whoever guy she was with at the end, and sees that it's his jazz club that he's always wanted to own if he's made it big. And then they notice each other, and when he sees her, he plays their song on the piano, and it's like this whole flashback of what would have happened if they had stayed together. And it ends like in that flashback. It ends with them coming together to this club, but it's somebody else's club. And then at the end of it is them giving like an acknowledgement to each other that they made it. So
I've seen clips of the scene, but I didn't know the context.
it's really good.
Yeah. So.
I don't know. Okay, it's one of two thingies. There's a movie where I think it's the first time that I can remember I watched a movie and I was like, holy shit, that was sad. Like I actually felt sad after I watched it. It was called Green Mile.
Oh yeah.
It was with Michael Clark Duncan. I remember Mom was watching it, I think, and I was like, I actually don't fully remember the whole movie now, except like the last part that, yeah, he was essentially being accused of, I think, killing those two girls or something, but he actually saved them, and there's also some weird, it was either sci-fi or fantasy stuff going on because he was taking away their
like
dark
their sin or
sins.
something.
Yeah, I don't know, I just felt like after that movie, I was like, I don't, even though I didn't fully feel like I understood the movie, I was like, holy shit, that was sad.
Was that the same movie with the guy who had like a pet rat or
Yeah,
something in
yeah.
a matchbox?
It was. I just felt like, okay, so that movie, even though, and I've thought about watching it now because I probably would understand it more, but I'm afraid of like rose-colored glasses or nostalgia. Maybe the movie wasn't as good as I remember it, and I don't want to watch it again because it might not. I don't want to roll the dice.
He gets electrocuted.
No, I think it's still good because I watched it fairly recently, like maybe a couple of years ago. It's still I think it's a timeless movie that you can watch. It might be something you can take something new from it if you watch it.
Perhaps, so maybe I will. But normally I'm never, I don't think I ever come to a point where it's like, you know what, today I want to watch this.
It is over 3 hours long, so...
Oh, that I didn't...
Yeah.
Holy shit, that means I barely remember much about this movie except like some final, like the actual Green Mile and like figuring out what it was. The other one, on the other side of the spectrum, which I felt like is a movie that I've watched many times but at different stages, and every time in my life, and every time I've watched it I felt like I understood it a bit more, and it's like the Matrix trilogy. Like I feel like when it first came out, I watched it, I just thought it was some like action superhero flick because Neo was doing flying shit and it was kung fu, and like I don't fully understand because the first Matrix movie came out when? Like
2000, I think.
something. I was pretty young. And then I remember watching Reloaded, the second one, in cinema, and truly being hella confused. I only remember those two guys, like Ernie and Bernie looking people, the assassins, and because it ended on a cliffhanger as well.
The white-haired assassins.
Yeah, with Neo and the other, and I truly wasn't sure. Then I watched it a few years later, like in high school, and I felt like I kind of understood it. Then I think I really got it in university. When I watched it again, I'm like, oh, I actually understand what the point of this movie is. Then I watched it again, like after university. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of like fully understanding this.
Like in the third one, it all comes together. So.
Yeah, it did, and then I was like kind of excited when they released the fourth movie, but then also didn't watch it because I don't want it to ruin the other three movies, which I think the fourth one wasn't received well.
Yeah, I did watch it. It is
even though
not great.
Even the new Indiana Jones movie is getting horrible reviews.
Indiana Jones.
That's the new one.
Oh, the new one. Yeah.
Mr. Harrison Ford is still.
They pulled him out.
Oh, this guy.
It's not a Spielberg movie.
I think he's probably over 70.
Yeah, but see, you offer anyone enough money, it'll do anything.
Okay. Moving on.
So she said that straight face. You're not
I
wrong.
stand by it.
Moving on. We spent too much time on movies. Okay. Second question: can music shape moods, and how do you think that happens if it does?
Shape a mood.
I think so.
100%.
Well, I definitely think so.
I mean, the revolving playlist is a clear indication
There'll be days
of moods being changed.
There'll be days I'll be in like a great mood and just that just right sad song will play like my day's ruined.
Oh, it's okay. Whoa.
I am now depressed.
I did not know that's okay. Wait.
Yesterday we were cooking and you played that song from the White Run. Like at night, like I'm listening to the song. Damn, this hits me in my emotions.
Yeah,
but
for context, we recently have been doing this thing where cooking has become kind of like a annoying task because I'm always like fighting for time with load shedding or whatever. I'm like, you know what'll make this more enjoyable? I've been bringing my USB speaker to the kitchen and I've been playing like NPC music. So like Skyrim OST or like Minecraft OST. Whereas I'm no longer cooking. I'm now just an NPC making food. And then Showan has also joined in, and now it's just the two of us preparing food.
You know what I'm just imagining right now? I'm just imagining you guys literally doing nothing else but taking ingredients and just and then the food gets made automatically.
That is exactly what we're going for. But yeah, like we were playing, and we came to the realization yesterday that like Skyrim OST, which I really like because I think it may be one of the games I've put the most amount of time in. I've just spent so much time in it that even though I didn't fully acknowledge the music when it was being played, I just know when we have it on. it's inherently kind of sad. But at
I
least
mean,
the tone
it's
is.
the instruments and the tone.
It's kind of sad, and like shit, Sean is like we're cooking like, damn, why are you making me? So I'm like, I don't know what to move to. I'm looking through all the OSTs. I'm like, everything is kind of sad.
But not in a
I'm
bad.
trying to think if there's any like upbeats.
Yeah, is there any OST for a game?
Some Witcher songs.
No, I mean
just-
Witcher has some like
Yeah, but I think a lot of them are like they're inherently like
No,
down, not
what-
upbeat.
yeah, they're very
what
melancholy
is
songs.
that? What is that caused by? Is it like when you're playing a game, it's like you're just trying to get into a relaxed state or something?
Maybe that's what they want because it's a lot of these
Oh.
games are all these open world. It's also you can't actually have like a high tempo song in the background all the time. It's kind of tiring. They need something that fades in
It's
between the
slow
background.
tempo.
But when
It's like
you're listening to it while not playing the game, you actually
just
listen
makes
to the
you-
music and like damn.
There was that once. You see that Life is Strange song? When I heard this, I was like, oh, this
Haven.
song. Because when you listen to the game, you're like, oh, Life is Strange.
Yeah.
You're listening to the song by itself, like, oh, why does this mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Life is Strange,
Which
like,
one?
there's always like some backdrop of the
Oh,
character is looking at some like a vista. Or
I think
something.
it's also like it creates moods because just thinking about The Witcher, it's like wherever you go,
Yeah.
The
each
music's
setting has a
appropriate.
different set. Like you're in Velen, everyone is starving and dying. And, like so, it just makes you like, and it has like that drawn out string instrument.
Yeah,
and
I
you just
think
like,
that's it. There's always
Yeah.
drawn out. I'm trying to think of any OSTs that didn't use those like the classic. Like where's the ones that have all the
Cyberpunk
synthesizers?
2077.
Yeah, but those. But I mean, Cyberpunk has like a sound. I think if I were to play stuff from the OST of Cyberpunk, don't think you'd be able to identify it because, like,
I know one
not
song.
you particularly.
Yeah.
No, I mean like it just. I don't know if I've had enough time with it,
Uh,
and like it's had songs from the game. Like I really want to stay at your house, which
Yeah.
had like big cultural impact. But the actual OSTs from while playing the game, I actually don't think I can recall any of them.
yeah, it's very hard to
Um,
differentiate.
There's a Doom soundtrack.
The Doom
Which is
soundtrack,
just meant
that's
to go
different.
hard.
So
non-stop.
that's actually fair. Do you think while we're cooking, we could just play the Doom soundtrack? Like, how,
I mean, we
what,
could.
What would happen there? We're just like chopping.
But you gonna reload the
Same.
spatula show.
Yeah. What is it? Rip and tear. Yeah, just. So okay. In
Yeah.
conclusion, yes.
Yeah.
I think it is.
I think personally, it's more a sense of. I think yes, it can affect your mood based on how it makes you feel, but I think there's also a nostalgia aspect to it as
Yeah.
well. Because certain songs are attached to certain parts of your life,
That's
and if you
fair.
get reminded of things, you're like, huh.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fair. I agree with you.
It's not always sad. There's also happy memories attached to it as well. But
Good.
Yeah.
moving on. Languages you would like to learn for your next trip abroad.
Ooh.
I'm already
I mean,
learning.
he's learning
I'm
Spanish.
learning Spanish and
Are you
French on
learning
Duolingo.
anything currently?
I got a
Mandarin,
31-day
Japanese.
streak.
Oh,
31 days.
So wait, you're
I'm-
learning?
Spanish and French.
So you've done it for 31 days, right?
Which one are you focusing on?
Yeah.
No, I'm focusing predominantly on Spanish. I
Okay.
did French 3 years ago, and I got the basics of that
Okay.
so far. But then I quit, but I'm back now.
Okay.
Okay, so like you've done 31 days, which is basically it's a month, I guess. How much do you think you know? Like just say worst case scenario, someone dropped you in not an airport, in a train station in Spain, and you had no tech with you. You were forced to use what you had. And this is again, it's not all language because you have body language and motion and stuff like that. Like, do you think you'd be able to like get by?
Would be tough. If I'm being
I believe that.
No, that'd be super tough. But I think I wouldn't be stranded at that airport as well.
Okay.
Like I definitely would be able to get to at least the hotel which I'm stationed at, but like or whatever. But I don't think there'd be very little mobility. Like I don't think I'd be able to move as much.
Okay, and what are you doing?
Japanese and Mandarin.
And Mandarin.
Why are you laughing?
I'm just thinking, no,
Yes.
Why laughing?
no, because I'm just thinking like, if they dropped the four of us in Japan, right? And we just use
None
all the anime knowledge we know. You think we can navigate ourselves?
So you think you watch sub for like
No.
10 years and suddenly now you can
No,
yes,
that's the thing. I don't think I can.
I-
I don't think I can.
I think you'd be
Show
able
it
to
this.
get. I think with just like being watching so much
Yeah.
of not even anime, just Japanese content. Like I have watched a lot over the years, and just being in it for a while, I might not know how to pick it up, but I feel like I think you'd be able to get by with just like common words
Yeah.
enough to get by.
But to understand
and
them is not.
You don't
the
need
issue.
to,
The
'cause-
speed at which they talk.
So okay, the one thing I'll say from again like so Trash Taste, based in Japan, because say take Tokyo though, like one of the really like international cities. We're not talking about like the sticks out in wherever local like rural Japan. But if you're in like a city, they're so used to foreigners, which is one thing, and they apparently Japan is really structured around like think of dialogue trees honestly like
Okay.
all like restaurants, train stations, they all have a like they have an expectation of what people are gonna say or what they're gonna ask for. Like if you go to a restaurant, like if you walked into a restaurant, even here, the waiter or the maitre d' that comes to you has an idea of what you're gonna ask them or what they're gonna ask you, like how many people, smoking, non-smoking, I don't know if that's even a thing anymore, and like do you have more people coming, do you want drinks, like it's not like tell me about the geopolitical state of the world, like that's not like a question. So I think based on all of that, I think you might be able to get decently far. You might not know all the intricacies, and you might say some disrespectful things, you might like annoy certain people, but I think just purely survival, I think you could do it.
I think we'd be fine. I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like just going to
Like none of us are gonna be like
But
screaming Bankai.
in terms of like
Something.
just,
Bankai.
That's how you make friends.
in terms of just like conversing with like locals, I'm not there.
Conversing is different, I think that's the thing. It's most of all. Okay,
I
but
can introduce
yeah.
that's all, and yeah, and order rice, green tea, or sushi.
Fair enough.
Specifically those three.
It's all you need, really.
Okay.
What are you learning anything?
Not a language.
Okay,
What you mean by that? What you mean by that?
No, I mean like I think I'm not learning a new language because I don't actually have any plans to travel abroad.
Okay,
But like in the context of the question, no.
sure. Okay. Yeah, I've dabbled in a lot, but I haven't like I always get to the point of where I'm only learning this because I thought it's interesting. I don't have a use case, and then
That is
I
kind of
just
in
fall.
line.
I think if I have an upcoming trip or something, I'd probably be able to do it. Right now,
Same. I think I need that motivation to actually do something.
yeah.
Interestingly enough, since I started like learning languages again, I've spoken a lot more Afrikaans. Like I've been.
Have you been learning Afrikaans?
No, I know Afrikaans. I mean, enough
Oh.
to have
Wait,
conversations
in what context? Like where?
at work. but like now, I'm using languages a lot more. I speak a lot more Zulu. I speak a lot more. Like all the languages I know, I'm speaking them more. Even
Okay, fair enough.
even the basic Spanish stuff I know, I'm typing those sentences in real life
I think
as
that
well.
is
So
good.
so I'm using them. So I'm creating a use case.
I think that is a good. Yeah, I think that is actually the only way for you to move forward outside of. That's fair.
Okay.
How? Sorry, just how good's your Afrikaans? You just because you
Okay.
just
Legitimate
said
question.
you just said
Hey,
you
Hey,
said
meneer,
I know
meneer,
Afrikaans.
Meneer. Next
Yeah.
question.
No, is it on your CV?
Afrikaans is on my CV, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Intermediate.
What,
No.
what does it say?
What do you say? Composition fluid.
Even I have taken that off. Someone is gonna call me out. But yeah.
Okay, moving on. We've been on it for a while. The struggle of cooking a meal instead of reaching for an app.
Oh god.
That's a day-to-day.
That's a day-to-day battle.
That's not a struggle.
That's not a day-to-day battle. That's
That's
a
not a struggle.
meal-to-meal battle.
There'll
It's
be
not
a
a
day
struggle.
when the
The app is
inspiration
winning.
comes.
The struggle implies that I'm conflicted between cooking and
Okay.
the app.
Let me ask you though: is the problem with cooking a meal? What is your issue with?
At the moment, it's
cooking?
load shedding. If I'm being
Same.
like load shedding is like
Same.
the if I swear if we were just on stage 3 or 2.
Look at that. Even in this man's fantasy, he doesn't have no load. He's even gone to a lower stage. That's wow.
The best outcome will be on
Under
low
stage
stage.
2, under stage 2, I will cook any meal. I will cook as many meals as humanly possible. But when it's stage 6 and you check and you're like, oh, 6 to 10, I'm like, how am I so you want me to work 9 hours and then you want me? I can't. I just ditch my job. That's the only way. That's the only way.
That's our
Yeah.
point of view now. Like, damn, stage 2, this is great.
Yeah, no, our
This
country is broken. So so is my psyche. But I agree with you. It's like I actually enjoy cooking for the
Same.
most part. I just don't like cooking under a time limit. So when I am like coming home and I'm like at 6 p.m. load shedding is 8 p.m. like
Yeah.
With my 2 hours of electricity that I have, it's like basically yard time for the jail people. Like, oh, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna spend an hour cooking
You said
food.
your time for the
That's
job.
how I feel. It feels that way. I feel like I come home and I got 2 hours of outside time. What am I gonna do with it? I don't want to spend an hour cooking. To be fair, I don't even know what I want to do. But yeah, so every day is a.
Especially for like someone like me who isn't a.
Yeah, it's like by the time you come home, shower, cook, eat, and then, oh no, lights are on.
Do you want to explain quickly, like a brief summary of what load shedding is? You're international.
Load shedding is international now, but anyway, it's basically scheduled power
Schedule
cuts.
blackouts.
Because we can't like support the grid.
We can support the grid.
I don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really have much of a battle with the app for cooking because I think like I've actually tried to have a much more structured cooking plan going forward. And
How
It's also
is the
because
meal?
we're
Are you
never
meal
in
prepping?
office.
no, yeah, that's why
Yeah,
it's easier for
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Are you meal prepping?
Not really meal prepping, but like I have a basic idea of what I'm gonna eat throughout the day because I have to fit it in with whatever I'm doing.
Mm.
And it's like okay, in the morning. And like one thing I know is like because I'm going for training at like 1, I have to eat enough time before where I have energy to train, but then I'm also not full where I feel sick when I'm training. And it's like
I've also run into that conundrum as
and
well.
it's like yeah, so
It's mostly supper. I mean, my lunch is already set. My breakfast is set. So.
It is dinner. I will also say there's rather than even cooking, I find trying to figure out what to make kind of exhausting. Like I am
Yeah.
not one. I really don't like eating the same meal many times.
Dude,
and
like-
so it is exhausting to think of what to make, and then at the back of my mind, the devil of McDonald's is like,
It's ever looming.
it's like
just
you want it, like
Guys.
I don't, but
It's not looming, it's one.
it's
I think I had McDonald's tonight. Like, actually, thanks for the idea. I'm ordering.
No,
I'm getting this. I'm driving all the way home. I'm not even gonna order from the app. I'm going to the drive-through. I'm gonna go there. What do you want? Yes, grand chicken spicy. That place, son. Yes.
I don't think it's that we have with that. We've accepted McDonald's
Yeah.
place and all that.
yeah, I mean
in the ecosystem.
as much structure as I try to have, the other day I bought McDonald's. So it's not like
Which is so funny because like 2 or 3 years ago, we were outright, me and Vish were outright rejecting McDonald's. We're like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, we like McDonald's.
Yeah, how dare you?
How dare you?
Now, honestly, we found its place in its.
Now we embrace it when we have it like
Yeah.
this
Load
delicious.
shedding to McDonald's. What a
Okay.
what a topic.
moving on.
I think this. Okay. Thanks for watching this
Oh yeah.
episode 3A. We will be back with episode 3B at some point. Goodbye.
There's only 2 questions there.
Stay middle class.